Well, I've been diagnosed with pretty much every mental illness you can imagine. And I still don't really identify with any of them. I definitely suffer from depression and anxiety, but I don't think that's an end. I think part of my journey of trying to find out what was wrong with me was self-medicating, because I couldn't find the right medications, and nobody would give me the medications that I wanted. So I started using street drugs to self-medicate, and as soon as I started using street drugs, the mental health system wouldn't touch me. So I didn't get diagnosed with anything for years. I was just refused service. I've been refused entry to hospitals. I've been thrown on the ground by a security guard trying to force my way into emergency at a hospital. I was completely psychotic, and I was left on the streets for over a week when I was 16 years old, and they wouldn't let me into the hospitals because I was using drugs. People kept telling me that if you take drugs, you're going to make it worse, but I couldn't function without drugs. I couldn't regulate my emotions without drugs. When I was a child, if I told anyone how I was feeling, I was often just told not to feel that. So I stopped telling people what I was feeling, and I was in a lot of pain. But I thought that if I told anyone that, they would see it as a weakness, as a vulnerability, so I just numbed my pain instead. But the pain is still there. I have no idea how I got through my adolescence, no idea. You know, I came close to death so many times. I wasn't scared of drugs. I wasn't scared, you know, of a really high dose of heroin, for example, knowing that I would overdose once I injected it. I didn't care. I just wanted the pain to stop, and I would do anything for that. I wasn't scared of death. I was scared of life. To aid recovery, I think that you need to have professionals that you can trust, and professionals that won't judge you, and professionals that are willing to stay with you for a long time. I've got a really great GP, actually, which it took me 10 years to find a really great GP, and now I've got one who I trust. Oh, it's so much easier. He actually believes what I tell him, which is really handy. He trusts me in a way that a doctor never has before, and he'll give me a chance. He'll always give me a chance. He doesn't judge me. So that's been probably the most helpful thing of my whole recovery, is finding a GP that I can trust. And I tell you what, it wasn't easy. I see it a little bit like, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I really hate the word relapse. I really hate that word. Sometimes I feel like I'm back where I started again, but I try and remember that I'm not, that it's not the same, that I have made progress. Yeah. These days I work as a mental health support worker. So I support people in their recovery journeys, and it also really helps mine, because I get to make meaningful connections with people every day, and I get to fight the mental health system from within, which I think is the best way to do it. I tried fighting it from the outside for a long time, and really it didn't damage anyone except for me. If you can work with people to find their way, you know, not the way of the psychiatrist or the way of the medical model or the way of normal society, but if you can work with the individual to find their way, then you are well on the road to making big social changes, because that will be reflected on a macro scale. You know, those people will be empowered by that, and they will step up to do what I'm doing. I think that to be mentally healthy means being comfortable in yourself and feeling safe. I guess accepting yourself for everything that you are, and not just the good bits.